One more thing. Cooper Flagg is special, but Dwight Powell nailed exactly why he's special after the game and so many other things after the game against the Pacers today. One more thing right now.
I'm here because I have to do it.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
That's it. It's me versus the machine.
Nice penetrating thrust to the middle.
People forget about fun.
Hot man, the hot player.
Wait. One more thing.
Yeah, I'm still locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. So are you. Thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. I'm Nick Angstadt, covering the Mavs for over 10 years here. Still at the American Airlines Center tonight because, man, there's just so much happening after this Pacers game, so I want to break it all down. And I want to talk about a bunch of things that Flagg said afterwards. Flagg talked about how he feels about the national anthem thing, which I think is interesting. We also heard from Kidd on Anthony Davis and his injury. Is it the exact same thing he said against the Rockets? Maybe we'll find out about that. He also talked about Brandon Williams. We also had just some other moments. Dwight Powell talked about the MVP chants and how he felt about it and all that kind of stuff. So there's just so many different things I wanted to get into. But let's start here. Cooper Flagg is special, and we've seen in some of these games, except for the Thunder game, right, where he didn't put up as many counting stats, and you're like, oh, well, it's the second night of a back-to-back. He got the shoulder injury. He's just 18. All the different kinds of excuses and things you could put up for Cooper Flagg, but he's been really great in a lot of these games, and he was great tonight, I thought. 15 points, had 10 rebounds, had a bunch of other things go his way, played really great defense. And the thing about Cooper Flagg that is special, I think Dwight Powell nailed it after the game. Dwight Powell talked about this. He said, Cooper is a competitor by blood. I think he obviously loves the game of basketball, but he's a competitor. He expressed that through his game. He loves the craft, and he's a hard worker, which is the most exciting to see someone from his skill set and his mentality of wanting to win, being a competitor and working hard. And the fact that he's a teenager, the sky is literally the limit for him. And I'm really excited for his near future as well as his distant future. I'm looking forward to being a part of a lot of wins with him. By the way, Dwight Powell will probably be still here by the time Cooper Flagg's career with the Dallas Mavericks is over. That says more about Dwight Powell than I think anything else. He's just been around forever. But I think the competitor part of Cooper Flagg is what actually makes him what he is. The fact that what you see right now is not what he's going to end up being by the end. That's not the end product of Cooper Flagg. We will see him learn. We will see him discover new things about his game. We will see him try things and fail, and then we'll see him come back and learn new things about how to adjust and how to guard and how to guard without fouling. That's something we definitely saw him do. There was a couple times early this season, we've even seen him get called on some fouls, and you go, that's just a classic rookie move where you're just up too close on a guy, and all of a sudden he's got to get a little bit more space and then know when to step up to a player. I saw that happen tonight in a play against Siakam. There's like 4 minutes left in the game or something like that, and he's defending Siakam, and he stayed back. Had his arms out, and then as soon as Siakam picks up his dribble, and as soon as he pump fakes, Cooper Flagg knew this is my time to step forward on him. And he knew he wouldn't get stuck in the moment where a guy baits for a foul, the Chris Paul play where he baits for a foul and pump fakes and does all that kind of stuff. He knew exactly when to step up. And I think that's growth from Cooper Flagg is because he's a competitor, because he's trying to always get better all the time. And I think that's just something that is so special about a player like Dwight said. He's 18 years old, and he's still learning. He's still learning so much about basketball, and he's played so much of it. But learning how to play at this level, it was interesting hearing from Cooper Flagg after the second night of the back-to-back against the Thunder game, because it was a real learning moment for him where he's like, man, I've never gone through that. And you can't know what a second night of a back-to-back feels like on somebody's body until you actually have gone through it and see what it actually is and see what's going on with it. And so I thought it was just awesome to hear from Dwight Powell. And honestly, to hear about the work ethic, to hear that he's always working on his game, to hear that he's always, he's working on the craft. He's a hard worker, what Dwight said, the mentality of winning and working hard and all that, because Flagg said about Dwight. It's much more about his actions. I don't think I've ever seen somebody that lifts more than him, just showing up and working hard. He's in the weight room every single day. He's always early to practice, always getting those shots. He really just leads by example, showing the younger guys the right way of doing things, and he just carries himself at such a professional level. So for Dwight, who's always working hard according to Cooper Flagg and all that, for him to say that about Cooper Flagg, to pass on the compliment to Cooper Flagg, I think says something. And a lot of people have asked, well, why is Dwight Powell still on this team? Just ship Dwight Powell out. What's the point of it? That matters to teams. That matters to have a vet that shows up early, that does the right things, that does all those things, that shows what it means to have a work ethic. I think that matters. And I'm not mad about Dwight Powell still being on this Mavs team, right? He's making $4 million, close to the minimum. He's the fourth center on the Mavs, and sometimes they need him, and sometimes he comes out and has a game like he just did just now, which I think is incredible and crazy. Dwight talked about the MVP chants that happened tonight. He said that might be the first time. I was just trying to focus on making the free throws at the end of the day. A little confusing at first, but just lock in and try to make the free throws. Imagine like Dwight. What the first thought Dwight must have had is like these MFers, like these guys chanting MVP for me. Like what are they doing? I can't imagine what Dwight was thinking, but that was hilarious to me that he said it's the first time he's ever heard MVP chants. And you know what? Let's go. Just fun. Like, let's just have fun with it and enjoy basketball, enjoy sports, enjoy all that. I loved it, and I thought that was really funny. That was the first time he's heard MVP chants. Just a really great moment from Dwight Powell, and I thought that was very funny that he was like, just make the free throws. Like, it's almost like when you cross somebody up and they drop, you've got to make the shot, right? Like, you've got to put it down. I saw SGA talking about that with some kids. He's like, if you make the crossover and you make the highlight, you've got to make the shot. So Dwight was just like, I got to make the free throws. Got to make the free throws. That was like the most important thing to him at that point, I bet. So many other things to get to from this game and this post game. The buzzer beater. We did not talk enough about that in the post-game show with Slightly that I wanted to talk about it here. The Mavs almost lost this game. Like, very closely almost lost this game. And there was a bunch of ways they almost lost this game, but this whole story of Dwight Powell and Brandon Williams and how good Cooper Flagg played and all that would have almost been completely erased because of that buzzer beater. They go to the free throw line, right? And Indiana misses the second free throw. And somehow, through all of it, I think, honestly, what happened is Naji Marshall boxed out too hard. He boxed out so hard that he was so far away from the ball, he was boxing out, that the ball bounced, and Aaron Nesmith, of all people, who in college didn't he shoot like 47% from three? I can't remember going back to his draft profile that we did here on this show. But the Aaron Nesmith, of all people, picks up the ball and launches it wide open three. Like, imagine if that went in. The Mavs go from being 2-3 to they go to 1-4. Like, 1-4 on the homestand and losing to this Pacers team with this many guys missing and all that stuff. How much doom and gloom it would be. Insane. We did not talk enough about that moment. I wanted to mention it because, oh my gosh, that was just a weird moment, and the Pacers almost stole this one for sure. Coming up, Jason Kidd talked about Anthony Davis's leg injury. Do we believe Jason Kidd? Talk about that coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs, the One More Thing, continues right now. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs, the One More Thing bonus episode, is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton, they have more than just a cycle. It's more than just riding a bike and doing all that. It's shaping the future of fitness with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus. It's powered by Peloton IQ. It's the most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, cross-training, doing all that stuff. You have your favorite instructor still that you can use for Peloton. The training reimagined and all that. They've got the swivel screen, which is a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. And you know what's awesome about the Peloton IQ? They track your reps, suggest right weights, correct your form, and make every rep safer and smarter, which is what we all want at the end of the day. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. Today's episode also brought to you by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but they really didn't. Now the average company's buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams, simply don't work together. That's SaaS. It's not SaaS. It's SAD. S-A-A-D. Software as a service. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is a unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance. What else do you, I guess sales? Like what are the things you need in this to make a business work? All in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools and all that kind of stuff with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. Everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access runs automatically, perfectly in sync. And right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. Learn more at rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. That's rippling.com/LockedOnNBA for 6 months free. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's Locked On Mavs. The One More Thing, a bonus episode. If you missed the post-game show, go listen to that one. Great stuff with me and Slightly. We had some fun on it. We always do. Go listen to Isaac's One More Thing, where he broke down the Mavericks' new offense. Great stuff from him on that, where he's just going through what the Mavs offense is supposed to be, what it's actually looking like, and all that kind of stuff. So go listen to that one. We're putting out shows all the time because the season has started, and we've got things to talk about. So let's get into the rest of this. Jason Kidd talked about Anthony Davis. I think I ran out of music there. It just ended. Jason Kidd talked about Anthony Davis, and he said it's lower leg soreness. He tried to return, didn't want to take any chances, so we'll see how he feels going forward. All right. Anthony Davis gets hurt, is like messing with his leg, messing with his Achilles, and he was dealing with some kind of Achilles thing before, and then he comes out awkwardly on the leg after a jump shot, then goes to the scorer's table, sits there, and then it, like takes himself out of the game, and then goes to the locker room and doesn't ever really come back. Jason Kidd said he wanted to return. He tried to return about Anthony Davis. He says he tried to return, didn't want to take any chances, so we'll see how he feels going forward. After the Houston game, the Houston half that we talk about, the lauded Houston half we talk about, Anthony Davis got hurt, right? Left that game too. And then he said he was fine after the game. People are remembering that people thought that Jason Kidd said that he was fine after the game. That is not what I have looked up. I've looked for Jason Kidd's quotes. I didn't see anything about Jason Kidd saying he was fine or anything. I do believe that Jason Kidd did say he tried to return in that game. But Anthony Davis after the game said he's fine. Just a little bit. And that ended up being the adductor strain. And then he was out for a bunch of weeks after that. So I don't know what to make of this. Could be anything, honestly. Like, we'll just have to wait till they do tests. Because we can't trust anything Anthony Davis says about injuries for himself. It's been that way his entire career. It's nothing. It's just an eye thing. And then he's almost a detached retina. Like, what are we doing? So I don't know what to make of Anthony Davis' injury. I don't know what to expect if it's worse than what it is. But I know that he said he's fine before, and it was worse than what it actually was. So I'm not believing left lower leg soreness. I mean, I guess that can be true, but soreness because of what? Because of something? So a couple other things that happened after the game. The Nemhards exchanged jerseys, which I found very endearing. Ryan Nembhard, the two-way contract guy for the Mavericks, and Andrew Nembhard, neither of them played tonight, but they got to exchange jerseys. That's pretty fun for two brothers to be able to exchange jerseys like that. And even though neither of them played, which I think is kind of funny to exchange jerseys when neither of you played, but I guess you were still wearing it. Nemhard was not wearing, or Andrew Nemhard was not wearing a jersey, but I guess Ryan was probably wearing his. What other things? Oh, Jason Kidd talked about Klay Thompson. He said he's got to keep shooting. He's a shooter. He's been in this league for a long time. So for him, he needs to take those looks. He's getting great looks. They're just not going down for him right now. This is where Jason Kidd lies to your face. He just does sometimes. He says things that he doesn't mean. Klay Thompson is not getting good looks. He's not taking good shots. We're all watching it. We're all seeing it. We're all seeing the types of shots he's getting. They're not good looks. But the thing that Jason Kidd does believe is you've got to shoot yourself out of it. And he believes that he's got to give him more time and got to give Klay Thompson more time to get there. And he's going to give him more time because he trusts vets. And he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to trust Klay Thompson is going to get right. And I don't know that he is going to get right in this offense. Unless this Princeton offense all of a sudden creates enough open looks that Klay Thompson can start thriving again like he used to with the Warriors, I just don't know. I don't really see it. And so I don't believe Jason Kidd when he says that he's getting great looks. They're just not going down for him right now. I just don't. Like, I can see it. I'm watching it. Oh, Cooper Flagg talked about the national anthem. This is something that people have been asking about a lot. Is that, all right, so in the national anthem, gave proof through the night that our flag, and everybody chants flag. And the first time he did it, Cooper Flagg, like, kind of looked around and was just like kind of caught off guard. And so I think Christian Clark asked him tonight about what he actually thinks about the people chanting flag during the national anthem. It's been 5 times now. We've played 5 games, and the fans have done it every single time during the national anthem. And Cooper Flagg said this: the first time it surprised me. I didn't even really realize what had happened, but it's pretty cool. The fans have been amazing for us. We've got to keep giving them things to be excited for and to cheer for. And he just said the fans during this 5-game homestand have been great. So he said it's pretty cool. So all right, great. He likes it, or at least kind of admits that it was cool or that he liked it. So awesome. I don't want to see anybody else being like, oh, what if he doesn't like it? It's like, okay. He could have said, hey, you know what? I'd prefer if they didn't do that. And he didn't say that. So there's so many things that happened tonight. Jason Kidd talked about Brandon Williams, said I think going to the funeral and everything else that was going on, again, being a pro, came out, played at a very high level for us. We've missed him playing his speed, his ability to get to the rim, something we haven't had here of late, and I thought that he did that at a very high level. The Mavs have really been missing Brandon Williams. Change of direction, his north-south speed, and all that kind of stuff. The Mavs have this weird conglomerate of guards where you have Ryan Nemhard who can pass, Jaden Hardy who can shoot, and Brandon Williams who can drive. Like you can't combine all 3 of them. You can only you only get one of each of the skills from each 3 of them. Hardy can shoot, Nemhard can pass, and Brandon Williams can drive. And they needed the driving in this game, and so they got that. And Brandon Williams shot well in this game too. I'm not saying that, and he had some good passes. I'm not saying that they can't do each of those things, but anyway, so many interesting things from the end of this game. I just wanted to come back on here and just talk about all those random things. But the Mavericks move on. They're playing next against the Detroit Pistons in Mexico City. We'll have a post-game show after that. Guys, we'll have another show between there and now. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. Go check out the QR code, links in the description, different ways to follow the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs. Peace out.